Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the 43rd. God, I almost said 42nd again. But even though that was you opening last week. Welcome back to the 43rd episode of Nifty Cauldron. I'm one of your hosts, Milan, joined by my lovely co-host, as always,
Kelly!
the one and only.
Hell yeah.
How's your week been? How you doing?
Bruh, it's been a week of really long work hours. It's been a week of a lot of coping through alcohol. So I hope that podcast is in mind, that I have a libation right here on hand. And perhaps we do a little drinky poo while hanging out and vibing for the podcast. But at the same time, I'm having a good time now that I'm hanging out with you.
Oh, well, I don't have a libation. I just got out of bed like, I don't know, 15 minutes ago. So I won't be joining, but for everybody watching, listening, if you want to partake on a Sunday at noon, assuming you're West Coast, go for it. Because if it's noon over there, it's 9 p.m. over here. So let's fuck it.
No, I mean, okay, so West Coast wise, it is midnight. So
Yeah, but at time of release of the episode.
Oh, that's true, but also time of recording, cheers, it's midnight.
Yeah. In some parts of the world it is, so it's midnight somewhere.
Turn up, baby. Turn up.
So
But how are you, my dude?
I'm okay. I was feeling some type of way yesterday. Got really in my head as I tend to do, but it's all right. I'm okay.
Brain has hands.
Brain always has hands. It's kind of the thing, right?
The real talk. Brain always has hands. TBH. When you have mental illness, there is not a moment in time in which brain does not have hands.
Yeah, and if that moment exists, then brain has hands because it's supposed to have hands. So it's like, well, something is wrong. What's going on? So, but before we dive into it, if you enjoy Kelly being buzzed, maybe leave a like, comment, a little subscribe, so we can get to the 100 subscriber mark to get that custom URL.
Big subby energy. You know you want to be my sub to my big dom. Subscribe, bitch.
God. Oof. I mean, if that doesn't do it, I don't know what will.
I'm about to say, why you oof me? Fuck you.
Because I'm also here, and I don't know if I have that kind of dom energy.
No, you don't.
Although apparently, if you ask Mercedes,
What the fuck?
I'll it's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't
I need an adult.
don't want to put her on blast in public like this.
Okay, well, follow up your conversation with that exact lead-in, because I don't know what the fuck is happening.
I'll show you the clip later. It's a clip
Boom,
on Twitch.
boom, boom.
It's a Twitch clip. I didn't do shit. I wasn't even there. Anyway, we're going.
Dude, the last Twitch clip I saw in your fucking stream was killing Amber.
No, not mine. Like on her stream. I was talking about on her stream, and it got clipped and sent to me. I wasn't even there. Like, that's what I mean.
Is it because of your voice?
No.
You're the most least alpha person I know. Like, no
All right,
offense, no
listen.
tea, no shade, but like you couldn't dom yourself out of a fucking bush, bro.
Nah, bro. I'm the baddest bitch in the block. What are you talking about?
I'm gonna shove you in the locker, dude.
Hot.
You're
Hot.
you're a fucking nerd.
Hot.
I would beat your ass. In 2 seconds, I would beat your ass.
Oh god, this is true.
Yeah, I don't understand how this happened. Who the fuck is spreading these rumors? Who is spreading these fucking rumors about you being fucking big dom energy? Because you're like the softest little baby.
Honestly, I want to like peek into Mercedes' head just a little bit to see what kind of impression / mental image she has of me, because it's wrong.
What have you left? What kind of fraudulent fucking image have you
Right?
left in her mind's eye? Like, I don't understand.
I don't know. I don't
You
know.
are you are the softest little bitch that I would shove into a locker. I have no idea why that was to happen.
I don't know. I don't know either. But with that said, with the
Real
chaos
talk
started,
podcast. Real talk podcast. I'm daddy now. Like, I'm daddy.
this is look at me. I'm daddy now.
Look at me. I'm daddy now. Like, it's. I don't understand. All right. Well, apparently I need to DM some fucking people and get some background information because I have no idea how this happened.
Same. I didn't inquire about it. I just saw the clip. I laughed and I went, "Wow, that couldn't be more wrong."
Okay, well, fucking DM me this clip because apparently I'm not aware of it, and I feel offended the fact that I'm not aware of it, and I feel low-key attacked.
Fair. Yeah, I will. The second we're done recording.
Yeah, I'm like, you are my soft little cherub.
Yeah.
How could anyone think that you have big dommy energy?
I don't know. It's just I think it might be like the Serbian. Like if you don't really know me that well, it's like Serbian like sounds harsh and intimidating. It's like the beard. I don't look. I'm just spitballing.
I'm the Serb now. I come in full Adidas track gear. I have two gold chains, a beer, and a cigarette.
Yeah, this is true.
Like, no, that's not how that works, babe.
Yeah,
I
don't
adore
know.
you, but
No, like don't get me wrong. It is not my goal in life to have like big dommy energy. Don't get me wrong. That is not like I'm not like relieved that she had that thought. It's like, oh god, how'd you get there?
I mean, at the same time, it's like you could, just because from exposure purposes, you could dom yourself to the top, but at the same time, it's like
No.
You're like so soft.
I could not.
Could you put it out there in a textual form? Yes. Could you actually own it? No.
I can do it in a joking form, like as a meme, as a joke. I'm all on board. If you want me to be serious, I get legit anxiety and panic attacks over it.
No.
Yeah, I do.
No, I mean, yes, I agree with you, but also just like you as a dom, just no.
Right?
Come on.
But
look at that sweet little bearded face. It begs to be sit upon. Come on.
I mean, I agree, but some people look at me like, and they're like, well, you're 6'1", you have a full beard, like deep voice, like that's it, that's the thing. But it's like, nope, surprise, bitch.
No, you shove that kid into a locker. Like for sure. You're big locker kid energy. No offense.
None taken. Fucking love lockers. Even though we don't really have them like in the same way in Europe.
Really?
Like
you don't have lockers in Europe?
No, we do, but not this. Like our lockers are like this big, so it's literally just for your books. Like we don't get like full size lockers to get shoved into.
Okay. So real talk. In the U.S., or at least where I grew up, you didn't really get full-size lockers either. Like mine was kind of like the small kind of one.
Kind of similar to lockers they have on most train stations, right? Or airports and stuff like that. Yeah.
Or like Japanese animes because we're weebs. Yeah, just enough to hold your shoes and like some textbooks.
Yeah, some book or a bag or like your gym clothes, like little things like that.
Yeah, then periodically on your senior year, you got a bigger locker where you could actually like hold your backpack in it. But at the same time, it's like you're wearing your backpack to hold your books. Why would it be in your locker? And it's also just like half the time it wasn't actually covered by like the awning, so it would be like completely rained in.
Oh no, that's
there was like no point.
Like our all our lockers were always indoors.
No, my locker, I want to say, not freshman. No, okay. So freshman year, my locker was outside and it would just get rained upon. So it was useless. So I never even used my locker.
Oh, shit.
But then sophomore year, I got a locker that was inside and then I could actually like store my books and be comfortable about it. But then like this one guy tried to like be an asshole to me. And then, long story short, I found out that he had like, he sustained too many concussions because he used to be in football. And then he tried to bully me, and then I was like, bitch, I'll just punch you in the back of the head and kill you.
Yeah, that is very you energy. That is
It
you.
is.
That is you since I've known you. So you've always been that
Absolutely.
way. You go
I'm
from
like,
0 to 100 just like that.
exactly. Exactly. I'm just like, you can't bully me. You have a weakness, and I'll kill you.
Yeah. Smiles.
That was
Yeah.
it. Smiles. Just I know that you've sustained a lot of concussions in your life, and if you sustain one more, you might die. I will be your concussion. Push me one more time, kid. And that was the kind of energy that I exuded in high school. Was just like, fuck around and find out. Was my energy.
Yeah. I mean, you still have that type of energy too. So.
I still kind of do.
But it's toned down because it's less acceptable as an adult. But it flares up. It flares up when appropriate.
Oh, 100%. It's honestly a baseline. It's always there. You just have to look for it.
Yeah.
It's like a
it's present.
hidden Easter egg.
Yeah. Of pain.
Hidden Easter egg of pain. Like I'll kill you for one corn chip.
This is true. You fucking ate corn chips.
I'm not even the biggest fan of corn chips, but I'll kill you for one.
Why not?
Why not?
God. So,
did you not have like a shitty locker freshman year and then got upgraded to one later on?
Everybody gets the same type of locker. Serbia didn't have lockers also. Just so we're clear there. You got like
you just carry your books everywhere?
We didn't really use books because most people were, I guess, we had books, but we never used them. It was, at least in my school, and I think this is pretty normal. Teacher would come in and they would just start kind of dictating for like 40 minutes and you would just write literally everything down. So you never needed to learn from the books. You just needed to be good at taking notes and learning from your own notes.
Okay, so that's just writing ability, but like there was no books really?
I mean, we had books, like we used a book for math and stuff like that, but for the most part, the teachers would just take whatever's in the books and put it in their own words. So there was no reason to have the book open other than like math or physics or like chemistry, like stuff like that.
Okay.
It's a much better because it meant you didn't have to carry books to school.
True, and it also means that like the teachers are actually trying to actively teach you versus just be like read the book and then just sitting around like farting. Yeah, which is what we get periodically, or at least I get a lot, especially in like my college career. Was just like, why don't you read the book, bitch? And then they just kind of sit in a chair and fart.
Yeah, it must be nice. Yeah, no, like so as far as that goes, but yeah, in the Netherlands, even if I'd stayed at my school, even if I'd stayed in the country until I graduated, my locker would probably never even have changed from the original locker I got, let alone a bigger one. We all have the same ones.
Oh, that's so wild, because like I remember my freshman year locker was outside, uncovered by an awning, so it would just be rained into, and also you had to share your locker with another friend.
That's disgusting.
So no, I shared my locker with my friend. At the same time, it's like it didn't actually rebuke any rainwater, so it ended up we just never used it. We just put all our books in our back, like all our books in our bag, and then just carried them around all the time. And our backpacks were so fucking heavy. And then senior year, I finally got that locker inside. And then for some reason I got bullied over it. I don't fucking know why. It's just like, okay, whatever. But like, yeah, there was some guy in my math class, and to this day, I'm a dox him. I don't give a fuck. His name is Max.
Fuck you, Max.
Not Max, but Maximilian.
Fuck you, Maximilian.
Yeah, dude, he had the fucking just the limp dickest name, dude. And he was just like trying to bully me. And I was just like, no, like, you don't understand. Like, I'll fucking kill you.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I very much proved my point, because he tried to like bully me, and then I pulled on his backpack so hard that he fell over, and then I told him that if he did it again, I'd fucking kill him. And then he stopped bullying me.
Yeah, I also had no chill. Like, so people sometimes try to bully me because I, big soft boy, and I used to be overweight.
At the same time, it's like, you're such a little sweet bean. Who would bully you?
I mean, people try or tried, and this was very weird. Like, we had this like big tough macho dude in Serbia in the class. Was super into like lifting weights and like rowing and everything like that. And
Okay.
and he didn't like
Run
that.
him over with the car.
He didn't like that I had long hair. Because I quote, what if you get into a fight, someone can just like pull your hair back and like slice your throat? Like, dude, we're 15. What kind of shit are you into that I have to be concerned about a fight like that, right?
The School of Hard Knocks, Serbia.
Right? So, one time, and he sat behind me. Like we were friends-ish, I guess, whatever. Like, but not really.
Friendly.
Yeah. And he pulled my hair once, like all the way back. I was like, see what I mean? Like, dude, do that again, I will fucking stab you. Fast forward, I don't know, a couple days later, he does it again. I fucking stabbed that motherfucker with a pen in the hand. Like, there you go. Now you get to go to the nurse. Told you not to do it. You never did it again. Like, I'll give one. If I give one serious warning, that's it. That's all you get. If I have to warn you in a serious way, like, don't do that again, that's it. Like, you get the one. You get the one freebie.
Bruh. At the same time, I'm proud of you. That channel's like real big me energy. I'm proud of you.
It's like I'll let a lot of shit slide. I'll let a lot of shit slide, but
you're tolerant. You're incredibly tolerant and laid back and long fuse.
Yeah.
I would say. Very long fuse.
Yeah.
I'm short fuse. I'm moody. You never know what you're gonna get.
This is true. Yeah, no, I let a lot of shit slide, and because for the most part, at least for me, with my experience, if it came to bullying, if they were like talking shit or whatever, as long as you don't react, they really don't care. Like they lose interest so quickly.
Exactly, and that's the thing. It's just like bullies would try to like bully me, and then I'd be like, I'll just stab you. like
yeah,
can you bully me when you're bleeding out? And that was like my energy, and like a lot of people realize that kind of early, and they're just like, oh right, well, this person's like fucking psychotic.
This is true. You know,
and at the same time, it's like, I'll push you down the stairs and make it look like an accident, and then I'll be like, oh, so young.
So much to live for.
So much to live for when he fell down the stairs and broke his neck.
Speaking about bullying and so young, so much to live for. Do you wanna retell the tale about how our DM is a motherfucking bully who almost murdered my second character and your character?
Scotty, if you're listening to this podcast, fuck you. But also,
how dare you?
Real talk, sweet baby Ophelia almost fucking died. Chat,
huh? Yeah, you good?
It's always chat. Fuck you. But sweet baby Ophelia almost fucking died, dude.
Yeah.
And I'm actually like kind of upsetty about it because I fucking love Ophelia, and I think that she's been like my most like revered character in regards to like role playing and stuff like that. So it's kind of upsetty spaghetti, but Ophelia almost died because Ophelia decided to wear some armor that was cursed. And the cursed armor made it so that she took double damage in regards to bludgeoning and piercing.
Yep.
So, as a cleric, that's a big ooh-ooh. And I almost fucking died. And we had some vampire spawn rush our carriage, but luckily enough, I'm a cleric, I cast daylight, so the vampire spawn's like, oh shit, my dick hurts, and then they start getting like vaporized. In those words exactly.
Yes, this is a one-to-one reenactment.
1-to-1 reenactment. Oh shit, my dick hurts, and then they start exploding from the daylight, and then yeah, I almost fucking died because I took double damage on like piercing attack from like a werewolf, and then I was thrown to the ground prone.
The bite attack and stuff like that. Yeah,
didn't make my strength save, was thrown to the ground prone, got bit again, got fucked up, and then basically our monk had to speed weed, pick Ophelia up, jump off the fucking side of a bridge, and then swim off to the side to save my life. But luckily daylight was still on the carriage, and it was still fucking up the vampires, so they weren't like attacking us anymore. But
yeah,
whew, That's basically it.
Yeah, in a similar fashion, my second character, who by the way, so for the people who don't know, my first character Fenris, he died 7 sessions ago now, as of the time of recording.
Honorably.
No, I mean, I fucked up.
You're right. He died drinking that stupid bitch juice.
Yeah. He died as I live like a fucking idiot. Drinking
that stupid bitch juice.
So he died 7 sessions ago.
Yep.
And then it took 3 whole sessions, so at the start of the 4th session, for my new character to get introduced and for me to start playing. So I had to sit there in the conversation, watch y'all play for like, I don't know, 16 hours, give or take.
Allegedly, yeah.
No. I'm not gonna mince words. That's what happened. So if my character had died, my second character, Eula, if she had died when she did, I would have officially played her for less than I waited to play her.
That's a bad feel, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm glad she didn't. Technically, she did. In the same vein, we were all on the bridge, and at this point,
yes.
Aislinn had jumped off. Arlen had jumped off with Ophelia.
Wait.
Okay.
Describe. Aislinn is the fucking moon elf.
Oh yeah, fuck moon elves.
Fucking moon elves. Moon elf ranger.
Yeah. So it was just Eula and Cyphus on the bridge, and then they were like, well, they all turned to me. Like half of them turned to me, and like one turn, I just go blap down, and and then
that's so accurate. It was just blap.
Yeah, I got hit for a fuck ton. And I have a lot of HP for a warlock. Like I think I was at like 40 something with temporary, including a temporary HP. So like that's a lot. Like that you know.
I mean,
but the DM kind of threw us a bone. Not really. He did this too late. I'm fucking calling you out, Scotty. He then made everybody retreat, but like 2 characters already down, everybody's off the bridge. We have to start throwing death saving throws. Help, right? So you and I both fail our first death saving throw.
Yes, we both failed our first.
And for context, in the turn order, it was you then me, like literally like back to back turn order.
Back to back, we both rolled very poorly in initiative.
Yeah. Second turn comes around, we both fail our death saving throws.
Fail again, baby.
I even remember my rolls were literally a 5 and a 4.
Yes, yours were considerably bad.
So, third turn comes around. Before your turn, Arlen shoves a potion down your gullet. Like,
I live,
bitch.
Baby.
You live.
I have a potion on me. Arlen, who is our monk, aka executive producer, fucking Speedweed.
Yes.
Goes and takes one of my potions and shoves it down my fucking child gullet, so I end up being okay.
Yeah. So, I'm still not okay.
Nope. Eula's not doing good.
Yeah. Cyphus is still on the bridge, and I don't know how in character it is because we met recently. Like it's hard for me to gauge Cyphus's character sometimes with his intentions or like how he feels about certain people.
Yep.
But at the very least, like, so I don't know if it's like partial influence out of character, whatever it is. I'm grateful. He makes his way over to Eula and uses one of his potions. He had he had literally just enough movement to do it, like on the dot.
Just enough.
On the dot. So
their player character literally was just like, oh man, I just literally had enough.
Yeah. So if he didn't have a potion, or if he was 5 feet further, or if Eula was 5 feet further away, I would have died, because afterwards I asked specifically, like, hey, do you want to roll for fun to see what would have happened if we had to
on
roll
our last day? Yeah, on our last death save.
You passed yours.
I made it. Yep.
So you would have been safe for at least 6 more seconds. I rolled a 3.
Yes, Eula would have died.
So,
Eula would have expired.
And I don't know if we've ever talked about my rolls in D&D. They're
cursed.
I have astronomically bad rolls.
Cursed. At the same time, my rolls are kind of cursed too.
Your rolls are very hot or cold. You're either on fucking fire, or you're just as cursed as I am.
Yes, that's kind of it. It's literally the duality of man.
Yeah, like, and then there's Cyphus, who is like the king of combat,
Crits.
who just rolls 20s,
Crit.
like it's fucking
Crit.
nothing. But outside of combat, it's like unga bunga.
Outside of combat, unga bunga, but in combat, like fucking literally, like roll 20 no's, dongers up, Merry Christmas.
Yeah, it's insane.
Wild.
It's super wild.
It's literally the duality of man, because he will literally roll like out of combat and it'll be like 2, but then in combat 20, and you're just like,
yeah, like it is not uncommon
okay.
for Joey to like in one combat like roll 3 or 4 20s.
Oh yeah, no, he crit twice last time he played.
He almost crit back to back is what he did.
He almost, yeah, at that point, just if you crit back to back, usually DMs do a confirmed just kill.
Oh no, I mean like I think he crit like on. He crit, and then he had the normal attack, and the next turn he also like was another crit immediately, like something like that.
But like, what we do in, at least when I play with Gamora, is like if somebody crits, and then they confirm crit, but in that confirmed crit they crit again.
Yeah,
Gamora just like it dies.
Yeah, it's kind of like
fucking dies. Like,
that's an older version.
What are the odds?
Of Vorpal. Like you could upgrade your weapon with Vorpal, and if you crit and you rolled another nat 20, no matter who it was, they would just die. It's kind of like that for like 3.5.
That's what we hope for. That's what we hope for in regards to Strahd. We just hope that Joey crits and crits again.
I mean, I hope that doesn't happen. That would be anticlimactic, right? Just get there, like he does a long speech, Bloody Tears starts playing again, we get hype, and then Joey just rolls 220. He's like, well, there goes the next 8 hours of content. You know?
Dude, at the same time though, okay, so like real shit. Our DM decides that whenever Strahd appears, it starts playing fucking Bloody Tears, and I literally just started just fucking shit. I just started pussy popping, dude. Yeah, like immediately.
I immediately like DM'd you on the side, like, oh shit, it's Bloody, because nobody else, I don't think, other than you and me, recognized it. So no, we were just like hype and pogging out.
Yeah, literally, just the two of us were just like oh shit, like, like hype as fuck. But like at the same time, it's just like, if y'all don't know, Castlevania, Bloody Tears. Play it at my wedding, play it at my funeral. It's fucking amazing, dude. Yeah, like, and the fact that our DM literally started playing Bloody Tears as soon as we ran into Strahd, and I immediately like just poggied. Like my brain turned off. The poggies were real. I had no idea what the fuck was happening. Oh, yeah. And then my character almost died.
Like Scotty was narrating during that entire scene. I don't know a word he said. I was just listening to Bloody Tears and freaking out that we were Scott was descending.
And like it's super cute because Scotty like was just like, I rehearsed and I wanted to make sure that like I delivered the line really well, and I was like, a bitch, I was just pussy popping Bloody Tears.
He even messaged me after that I not ruined, but for the lack of words, I ruined the scene because he had rehearsed to have like the delivery like on time with the music. And then my dumbass just interrupts it like, wait, wasn't it daytime a second ago? So I threw off the entire timing by like 20 seconds.
Yeah, you threw off the timing by 20 seconds, but at the same time, it's just like my brain was just enamored with Bloody Tears.
Yeah.
So it just goes to show you, if you're a DM or you're looking to DM, music choice is important.
It can be, right? Like, definitely, like if you don't want to do music, if you don't want to spend that time researching, you don't have to. It's not an obligation, right?
Yeah, and also just like a lot of tracks and stuff like that, if you want to use like royalty-free music and stuff, it can be a little expensive. So like I get it. But at the same time,
just use
when
YouTube.
You drop that fucking bloody, okay, real talk, if you're a DM, drop that Bloody Tears. If the fam reacts, they're the fam, kill the rest.
Except in this case, it was like They know too much. They must die because nobody else died except you and I almost.
No one else
So
died except for you and I. But at the same time, it's like, bruh. At the same time, I feel like I also like action economy wise, I used the best that I could. Like, so I play a cleric of war. A war domain cleric. Her name is Ophelia. She's a cutie baby, and I love her. But she worships the goddess, the god Whore, which is all about, you know, vengeance, retribution, poetic retribution, and just death for the most part, and just like righting the wrongs and killing all the people that are bad. So I love her very much. She's a big, like, fucking idiot. But the whole thing is just like, when it came to fucking like bloody tears coming on, I was just like immediately just fucking just like, oh,
Daylight.
fuck yeah. Yeah. And then like Strahd shows up. So we're playing Curse of Strahd, by the way. Strahd shows up, has vampire spawn, and the first thing Ophelia does when it comes to her turn, because I roll like shit, so I'm always dead last in the initiative order.
I mean, yeah, I roll like shit too.
My fucking dexterity is like +0.
Same.
So I roll like shit, and so I'm last 99% of the time. I just cast Daylight, and so all the vampire spawn starts taking like 40 points of damage whenever it comes into the turn or something like that.
I think it's 2d10 or something. I don't know, a lot.
Either way, it's a fucking lot. We killed a vampire spawn just because he just stood in my Daylight spell and died. So, yeah, I cast Daylight because Strahd is attacking us, who is a vampire lord, right? And then my immediate response to that is, do you dream? Because
in our
game, he confirmed that he dreamed. And so Ophelia, who's the name of my stupid idiot priest, or cleric, excuse me, really wants to know if Strahd dreams, because he's a vampire lord, and she's been basically asking around since like what? After Death House. Death House. After Death House.
I think since
we got to Barovia, like Village Barovia.
I think ever since we started having fucked up dreams, basically.
Yes.
That's when.
Yes. My character has been going around asking if like Strahd dreams. And so like we start fighting Strahd, and like my character just yells out like, "Do you dream?" And then Strahd's like,
"Don't you?"
Yeah, don't you, bitch? Basically. And I was just like, oh, punk. And so yeah, Strahd dreams, baby. And so my character got some closure on that. It was great.
Yeah, so it was a hectic time, and we were hella bullied, but we're okay now. We're alive for another day.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
For now.
Hope it fucking stays that way, because
yeah. Almost died at the fucking whatchamacallit, the fucking monastery. Almost died from the monastery fucking gremlins. We leave, and then we got into a big fucking fist fight, basically, with a werewolf. Which, yep.
Yeah, I mean, that's gonna be interesting. God, it's fucking... God, our party is
murder hobos.
Murder hobos to it. Like, Fenris being gone, it's like...
We have no moral compass.
We do, and it's Aisling, but it's not enough, right? Like,
not enough.
Back when it was Fenris and Aisling, it was 2 against 3, and like Ophelia was like pliable and like, you know, like, yeah, that's fine, and was willing to agree. And then when Ophelia agrees, like Arlen agrees, and Asaf is like, fuck it, I guess. So, but now that it's like 3 against 1 or 4 against 1, with 4 being in favor of murder, it's like, you're not winning that.
Yeah.
So,
well, okay, so the biggest issue there is that the DM was just like, yeah, I'm gonna introduce this character, they're a werewolf. And my character, Chaotic Neutral, is like, that's fine, they're a werewolf. And then the werewolf is like, we need to kill this man because they are kidnapping children. And then my character, a 13-year-old girl is like, yeah, I don't like the idea of kidnapping children. We should probably kill that guy.
Yeah,
because that guy, is biting children and turning them into werewolves.
Yeah, so the werewolves are kidnapping children in Barovia and making them fight for blood support, and the last surviving child gets turned into, because he's the strongest, he or she's the strongest, gets turned into a werewolf to join the pack.
Exactly.
And then the party's like, "Ooh, that's bad. Fuck that guy."
That's bad. Fuck that guy. So my character, being a 13-year-old child, is like, I don't like that guy. He should die. And then they introduce this other character that is like, okay, but like, we feel like anybody that we kidnap from the village, we turn into a werewolf automatically.
Basically, like, well, like, we don't agree with like the pack leader stance. If we become leader, then instead of killing all those children, we'll just still kidnap all of them and turn them into werewolves. Like, that's marginally better. But you're still kidnapping children. So the party was like immediately, no, now you need to die too, milady.
Accurate.
So
accurate. So then, it goes to my character, and my character like becomes the moral compass, which is a mistake because she's an idiot.
Yes.
So everybody's like, yeah, how do you feel about this? And Ophelia's like, well, I don't like the fact that you're killing and eating children. Yeah. That's a bad thing. But you know what? You know what would be better if you weren't a werewolf. So then I cure their curse of lycanthropy.
Yeah, which they didn't like because now they're like, well, I guess I'm dead. They're gonna murder me. So really, it's very, very chaotic, and it might end up with the party curing and or murdering an entire wolf den. So who knows?
Yep. So that's the plan, is that so our ranger was just like, you can't really judge other people for the way that you live, and then
like, yes, we can.
And at the same time, two of our other party members were just like, yeah, we fucking can, watch us do that. And then my character was just like, I don't like the fact that they kill babies, so let's just make them all human again. And then our other members were just like, yeah, that makes sense. Sounds good. And so now I've been curing people of lycanthropy. But unfortunately, it makes sense so that they aren't wolves anymore and they'll get killed by their pact. And so it's been kind of a low-key wild ride.
It's been a wild ride from start to finish because... Because for me, like, Eula is also very chaotic. Like, while that's all going on, literally in the background, just eating popcorn. Let's fucking see how this develops.
Yeah, which is totally different than Fenris. Totally different dynamic. Like, Fenris would have been like, oh, well, you shouldn't have done that. Or, well, actually, like, give me Fenris's hot take on this.
Hot take is he agrees
I don't know.
with kidnapping children bad, right? That's
Unga bunga.
If anything, if there was the capabilities, maybe he would have tried like start some kind of orphanage, but at the very least he would be against the murdering of the werewolves, and he'd want to help get her husband back with kind of the promise, like, we have to find a solution that doesn't involve kidnapping children. Otherwise, we're not.
Which is such big Aislinn energy, aka fuck moon elves.
Yeah, it is. Except Fenris would have probably came up with a plan rather than we'll figure it out later type of situation. Because I think Aislinn had like some trouble wording it to like convince the party. Like her argument came across as, no, you can't judge them for it, rather than like, hey, here's a solution that doesn't involve killing everybody, but also keeps the children safe type of situation.
Yes, which Unga Bunga doesn't appeal to my character because they're quite literally a fucking child and doesn't like the idea of being made into a werewolf because they were kidnapped because they were orphan, which my character feels a kinship to, particularly people that are orphaned, because she is an orphan. She grew up in an orphanage. However, her dad, quote unquote, is there.
In the same way, Fenris was also adopted. So I think if the idea came up with like, hey, let's build an orphanage once Barovia is safer, we are making it safer, well the children can go to, blah blah blah, then I think Ophelia would have been on board, and then
absolutely.
to something nice.
Absolutely. And I feel I would have been like, okay, I'm gonna teach the fucking ruler of the orphanage like all about my god.
Yeah, so that would have probably been Fenris's take in that moment. But it's also hard to say because of his passive perception. He would have noticed the werewolf lady like the moment she started spying on us, rather than just, you know.
Oh yeah. Rather than my whatever passive perception, which isn't even that good. I think it's like 17.
And that's still really good. It's just Fenris's was just very fucking ridiculous. Is kind of the takeaway. But yeah.
That's true though. Fenris is like a fucking just pillar of excellence.
He was.
We miss Fenris.
I missed Fenris. I still do in this current group dynamic. Because for full context, we've been playing this campaign for like 4 or 5 months now.
Yeah.
I built Fenris, or I had conceptualized his idea back in 2015. So it was something I've been waiting to build for a long time. And it just happened that Ophelia lines up with his backstory really, really well. So they had that like innate dynamic, and he was very protective of her. And
I miss Fenris to this day.
So a thing that I've never done before until now, as you know, I have another D&D group that I play with, and for the first time in my life, in any campaign ever, I reused the character Fenris. I've never done that before, and he's a little bit different. Like he's more fleshed out. Obviously, like his backstory is still like 90% the same, but more added onto it, like more flavor text, etc., etc. His stats are a little bit different because I learned how I wanted to build him and how I wanted to make him.
Yeah.
So
you realized you had to invest into insight.
Yeah, into investigation. He has it this time. Yeah. Fuck you, Scotty.
Insight. Fucking Scotty. Yeah.
And just stuff like that. And like I kind of applied things that worked versus what didn't work, and as opposed to the Fenris 1.0 who had point buy, we rolled for stats here, so the distribution is a little bit different. He's still as weak as like a paper sheet. Like he still has like no HP, but
it'd be like that.
It'd be
That's
like
okay.
That. So I don't have to
Glass
miss Fenris
cannon.
anymore. Yeah, I don't have to miss Fenris anymore. His legacy lives on. But the Fenris in Barovia, like that context, that the group dynamic, and with Ophelia and stuff like that I do miss. But yeah, I felt for the first time that I didn't achieve even like a modicum of what I wanted with a character. So it was time to seize the opportunity and play him somewhere else, where hopefully I will be able to achieve more, even though he almost died.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
Session 2.
At the same time, it's like that's kind of not that big of a deal because Ophelia is actually wasn't created for this campaign. Ophelia was straight up actually made for a different campaign that my friend was running that was a homebrew that had a different world and different churches and stuff like that. But I really, really wanted to play a dumb idiot cleric.
Yeah.
To be honest, I wanted to play a dumb idiot cleric because, as you know, I'm kind of a blasphemous slut and I feel like religion blinds us all. And so that's why I wanted to play an idiot cleric. And so I created her originally from this other campaign that was supposed to take off in regards to like a homebrew world. So her backstory had all this like homebrew, like, you know, gods and stuff like that. And she was actually originally like basically a cleric of the flame, and she was gonna like cast, you know, more like fire spells and stuff like that. But yeah, when the idea of this campaign kind of started, I decided to pivot from that and make her a war cleric. because I liked the idea of just fucking running a pole arm. Like I wanted her to have like a weird infatuation of like piking people up the ass.
Yeah.
Like for TLDR purposes, like that's why I gave her a pike at the beginning. That's why I made her a pole arm mastery feat. I made her like a human variant, and I kind of like tweaked a little bit of her like backstory. But my TLDR is that I really wanted to play a dumb idiot cleric, because I feel like you know, as the blasphemous motherfucker that I am, I feel like really religion low-key blinds us all. So I made her that way, and I'm no stranger to repurposing characters that were created for another campaign, just because I constantly have different character types and different character like modules that are just kind of like running through my head at any moment. And sometimes I commit them to paper, and sometimes I do not. But in this instance, is like I had fully fleshed her out, was ready for a campaign with her. Didn't actually happen, so I was like, fuck it, whatever, I'll repurpose her. So then I did for this particular campaign, and she fits really well because of the sad Barovian like way of life for the most part.
Yeah.
But yeah, it made sense for me to do it, and I don't regret it.
I mean, same. I have no regrets either so far. I don't think I will, but yeah, no, I've definitely had characters that literally died session 2, and they're like, all right, you're dead forever, and no desire to ever reuse them or repurpose them anywhere else. So to me, at least to me, it was very interesting that Fenris had that pull for me.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Fenris is fucking great, but at the same time, it's like I'm pretty excited for the characters that we have brewing for the next campaign, kind of thing. I know we were kind of waffling and going back and forth on like the different like names and stuff that we could use for them, but we pretty much have a pretty solid, I want to say, ideal that we're gonna kind of run with.
Yeah, it's gonna be good times, but we'll keep that under wraps until it's more finalized and things like that. So you know, I'll keep coming back every week if you want to find out.
You want that D&D comment, bitch? Fucking subscribe.
But also, speaking about comment, let us know if you've ever like repurposed characters, or you felt like really sad about a particular character death, or if you never had the chance to, you know, if you maybe you've never played D&D or whatever. What's your opinion on it, right? About reusing characters or repurposing them, but basically in a different setting or a different campaign or a different group. I'd be really interested to see how common or uncommon that is. Like, I thought it was very uncommon because I never did it. I never had any desire to, like, you're dead, you have your closure, hopefully, right? And then I just move on to the next concept that's brewing in my head, to the next idea type of situation, you know?
Yeah, meanwhile me, it's like I established such a strong, like a visceral connection to a character where I'm willing to just like kind of run with them again. And like I have like I used to run in 3.5, I used to run a half orc inquisitor that wore like basically she wore like BDSM gear, and she was like big fucking dommy mommy, and I kind of want to repurpose her again just because I love her personality type. But it doesn't necessarily have to be the same character, but I definitely love that personality.
That archetype,
yeah. That dommy mommy inquisitor, dude. Like I'm kind of feeling it.
Yeah.
And just a half orc, like a half orc whatever, like I kind of want to make like a half orc like barbarian or like something like that. But down the pipeline, like we have discussed, or at least I'm planning for the next campaign that I make to run a druid, which I've never played before at all. I'm not normally like a spell casting class. If I do like bard, or in 3.5 I would have done like a witch or something like that, but it's like I'm not very like a spell casting class, and so I'm actually like really excited to play a druid because I've never made one in my entire D&D career.
Same, actually. I'm also not really much of a spellcaster, because so for me, I think like warlock is a big exception, but I don't like as you level up more, your lower level spells kind of become useless. Like
Yes.
like when you have access like third or fourth level spells, you're not really ever going to cast first level spells again. So, and then the more you know, because there's no point. So kind of like your kit kind of gets like chopped in half. Like you lose bits and pieces of your character, especially if you start at a higher level. If you start at like level 6 or 7 or something, you just don't use part of your kit, and that always just felt really really bad to me. So I never had the
Yeah.
desire to play spellcast, but because warlocks just cast everything at max level all the time, all your spells are always useful, but you only get a very very few. So it's just always Eldritch Blast is always the answer. um
I started blasting.
yeah.
Is basically the warlock answer, which you should always take. If you are playing a warlock, you should always goddamn take Eldritch Blast. It's so fucking good.
Yeah.
And like at the same time, it's like for a one shot, somebody made like a home brew of a witch class. If you recall, in 3.5, witch was actually a class.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of reworks in regards to 5th edition, in regards to specifically Cackle. Cackle got hard nerfed,
Which
and
it
I'm
needed.
super sad about it. Yeah, it kind of low key needed, but I'm still sad about it. So, in regards to our, particularly our one shot coming up, I created a beautiful, basically Serbian cave hermit as an ode to my love for you.
Oh yeah. One concept which I have in my head, I don't know when I'll use it or where, is actually also a cleric. I want to make like a soft like mommy cleric that like on like healing touch like wipe away like the smudge on your face, and like just stuff like that, and just tuck people into bed, and just like get like handcrafted like macaroni cards from the party and shit like that.
For sure. At the same time, it's like I kind of made that previously. One of the first clerics I ever made was a drow cleric that worshipped I honestly think they worship Saloon.
Oh shit.
And so yeah,
Oof.
fucking moon elves. But this is my very first, like, honestly, not first D&D character, but like one of the first D&D characters ever made. But either way, like, she worships Saloon and she was a drow cleric, but she died because the barbarian in our party decided to let her fall down a fucking giant, what was it, ladder, and she fell down and she was crushed
Oof.
by her armor and she died.
Yeah. Yeah. Fall damage is no joke in D&D. Like, by the rules, like speaking about druids, one of the strongest things you can do is summon a cow above the enemy and just have it crush the opponent with the fall damage it does. That's dumb.
We literally discovered that. I have another campaign that I participate in, and I play a Dampier Paladin of Conquest, and we roll with an artificer, and the artificer has a familiar, basically, that is a giant bear. And I suggested to our artificer, drop the bear bomb. And so now she has gotten into the habit of literally taking her bear and dropping the bear on top of people and killing them.
Yeah, it does ridiculous amounts of damage because fall damage
Oh, yeah.
is very exponential. Like every 5 or 10 feet, you get like an extra dice. So
Yep.
there you go. And then weight comes into play, etc., etc.
Yep. So we were in this battle, and it was literally like a ghost that we were fighting, but that ghost, we dropped a bear on top of them, and they were reduced to fucking ectoplasm.
Yeah. God. It's insane.
It did so much damage. And as my character dropped, I stabbed them as well, and it was just like, well, we've taken out the town guards now because we dropped a bear on one of them.
Yeah, it's super insane. So like, I guess DM tip, don't let your players do that regularly because it's impossible to balance around. Like, let them do it maybe once or twice for fun, but if they start doing it every combat, fuck them.
Well, we have a tiefling artificer, and the tiefling just comes, picks up the bear, flies them over, drops them on somebody.
Yeah.
And they explode into a fine bloody mist.
Yeah, because you can't dodge it. Like one can argue like that the DM may be like, okay, like I'll let them roll a dex save or something, you know, as a saving throw, but it's just fall damage or crushing damage, whatever it's labeled as. So.
Yep. And we have killed 2 enemies that way, and we'll see if we continue
if you can get away with more. Yeah.
I'm hilarious. Like, I'm laughing.
Yeah.
I think it's hilarious, dude.
Although, with that said, I think it's time we wrap it up for this week.
Damn. I feel like time really flew.
It did. It always does.
It always does. Especially when I'm with you, friend.
I mean, that was the implication. Time does not fly otherwise.
Yeah. It's not like I like you or anything, Baka.
Of course not. Why would you?
I know.
But yeah, if you like what we do, subscribe, like, if you enjoy Kelly spilling water because they can't drink worth shit.
Nope. It's all down my shirt.
Like,
If you enjoy water straight down my moist titty shirt, then yeah, go ahead and subscribe.
Yeah, we'll be out for this week. We'll see you next week. Hopefully, maybe be there, be square. I'm one of your hosts, Milan, signing off, joined by my lovely co-host as always,
Kelly.
See you next week. Bye.
All right. Bye.